And now at 10:30, unsolved in Sedona. Tonight we dive into a nearly 30-year-old cold case.
And why no one was charged in that 1993 shooting of a young mother found dead in her home. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum has part 2 of the special report.
The Yavapai County Attorney's Office declined to prosecute the suspect, Stephanie Wasilishin's then boyfriend, twice. The reason? Insufficient evidence. Now, only 2 people know what happened moments after this domestic dispute. One is alive and one is dead.
Did you go in there, take the gun from her, and did you shoot her?
No, I did not.
Did she go in there and shoot herself?
No, I won't say she shot herself, and I won't say I shot her.
She's still there. And that's the only reason I'd ever want to live in Sedona again, is if I could live here. I want to buy this house one day.
For Nikki Wasilishin, nothing matters more than finding out what exactly happened inside this home on July 9th, 1993, while she was asleep. As a child, her mom, 32-year-old Stephanie Wasilishin, died of a gunshot wound. Nikki says she's certain it was murder.
When I have people tell me that it's suicide or an accident or whatever you want to say, I know it's just a blatant lie, because my mother would never touch a gun. Her 2 children were sleeping feet away.
According to the medical examiner's report, the bullet entered through the left side of Stephanie's neck. Dr. Philip Keene told police he was calling the manner of death a homicide after learning Stephanie was right-hand dominant. The report showed positive findings of gunshot residue on her left palm, not her right hand. Stephanie's boyfriend, Russell Peterson, told police that she shot at him once before a struggle for the gun in that fatal shot. Sergeant Laura Leon with Sedona PD.
We know simply that based on his, again, the one-sided information, that his statement is that she shot at him, so that would explain gunshot residue, period. Now, whether that gunshot residue is present from what he followed up as an answer to what happened, being that during the struggle when that weapon went off, that there would be additional gunshot residue, only makes sense. We just don't, there's no way for us to separate the first shot from the second shot, if you will.
On September 3rd, 1993, less than 2 months after the shooting, Russell Peterson met with investigators for his last interview. This time, his story changed.
I don't think there was a struggle. The struggle was my own struggle. I wanted to grab her. I wanted to stop. Why'd you shoot at me? Stop the madness. Why did all this happen? You never gave me the chance.
But what happened?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I may know. It'll come to me. I don't think I ever put my hands on her.
This time, Russell told police he saw Stephanie fall from a distance. The month prior, investigators simulated the shooting with a model of the gun involved in the case, a .44 Magnum revolver. They found a woman with similar size and frame to attempt the same angle of the bullet's entry through the left side of the neck. There was difficulty pulling the trigger one-handed, double action. It finally worked with a simulation of a struggle between 2 people. The medical examiner also told investigators he believed Stephanie was in a defensive posture when she was shot, based on gunpowder residue on her left palm.
We put the evidence together, and it's like the evidence is showing that she did not commit suicide. Okay. There was no one else present in the room, correct? Just
No.
Near the end of the interview, Detective Walter Spokes confronted Russell about his lack of cooperation.
Let me finish, okay? I think we've been more than understanding with you, okay? You've canceled appointments with us, okay? We've scheduled them with you, okay? I tried calling you, you've moved, you promised me you'd give me your phone number as soon as you got a new one, and that you had the phone, you just didn't recall it, you never returned that. You know, we've gone out of our way, I mean, we've been over backwards to show that it was an accident for you.
A polygraph test or reenactment with Russell himself never happened. He did give consent for a search of his house. In December of 1993, Sedona PD learned the Yavapai County Attorney's Office did not see enough sufficient evidence to present to a grand jury, despite inconsistencies in the suspect's stories. This letter said Russell's confusion over the facts could be the result of trauma or wishful thinking. That fateful night, did alcohol and talk of Russell's upcoming trip to New York contribute to the alleged fight?
There was a lot of antagonism between the two of them, with him going, money being spent. So that night, evidently, that could have been a source of conflict with them.
The original police report reveals Stephanie told her mother more than 50 times that Russell abused her physically and emotionally. Wendy Wasilishin says her sister planned to leave for good.
I think this was the end of the road for that relationship. She was thinking about leaving him. My mother offered her home.
I never, in 6 years, ever raised a hand to her.
At exactly what time did Stephanie's life end? Russell's phone bill shows a call was made to a location in Glendale at 1:36 in the morning, lasting a minute. At 1:40, Russell called 911. Sergeant Leon's follow-up narrative on the case boils down to this, quote, "I cannot find any further leads on this case short of a confession from Peterson, making an admission," going on to say that Stephanie's family has been less than cooperative in communication. Do you feel like this case will ever get any resolution?
I hope so. I hope so.
You hope, but do you believe there's a chance? With all the time that's gone by, I know that's got to be hard to think about.
I think if they did their job, it's an open and shut case. I really, truly do.
I'm not going to give up on this anymore. I will fight the system. I will not let this go. My mother did not commit suicide or have an argument and try to shoot her boyfriend. That is not what happened.
We've reached out to the Yavapai County Attorney's Office for comment. The chief deputy tells me they won't be making any comment due to an open, active investigation and ethical obligations. I'm Justin Lum for Fox 10 Investigates.